Hey, movers and shakers, welcome to another awesome episode of the Seven Figure Moving Academy. Today, we're going to be talking about sticking to your price. I know some of you guys are getting these things. Why is your price too high? Or people are saying that, hey, I can't go with you because somebody's a little bit cheaper. But that's okay. Stick to your price. And we're going to teach you why in this video, why you need to stick to your price and why it's important to do it. All right, stick around. But before we go on into the video, make sure you smash that like button. Give me a thumbs up, if you will, and leave a comment in the comment section. I really, truly hope to see you in the comment section very soon. So, with all ado, let's get into it.
So basically, you stick to your price, right?
Stick to your price. If you need to negotiate a little bit, negotiate a little bit. But
Okay.
you do not want to negotiate, have a cutoff. Like, I'm willing to knock off 10% or whatever it is and never go below that. Because people will try to take advantage of that. Especially people that come from areas that have, that negotiate a lot on prices.
Yes.
Right. These tend to be like people from India, Middle East, Africa. These guys, they always bargaining, and that's fine. But know your worth, know your value, and never go below that value. You can negotiate a little bit, but hold that hard line. That you got to have a line that you just, nope, I'm not going below this.
Okay.
Right. This is where I stop. And, because you got to you're in this to make money. You're not in this to do charity, unless you're doing a charity work. You know what I mean? This isn't charity. You're trying to make a business. Ideally, in 5 years, I'm assuming that you and your husband would like to either sell this or turn this over to somebody so you can live the good life.
Exactly.
Okay.
I have two sons, so that's the whole motive of pretty much setting the pace and pass the baton forward.
There you go. So that's what you're in it for, and keep that goal in mind. And if you're always discounting your stuff, then you're always cheapening what your value is, right?
Okay.
And you don't want to cheapen what you're worth, right?
So
know your worth.
Yeah. So like, say, moving forward, right? In terms of truck, do you finance a truck later on, or do you buy a truck? Like,
Well, that's a good question, actually. I personally would want to purchase my truck, right, and carry all the load of that. That's me personally, because I don't want to be holding to somebody for a monthly thing. Because if I have some bad months and I can't make payments, then that starts a snowball effect that I don't like.
okay.
Right? So I personally don't feel comfortable financing something unless I know that I can get that paid off like very quickly, like 2 or 3 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's me personally. Other people love to finance. Some people lease, because when they lease, then they don't have to worry about maintenance on the vehicles.
Yes.
Right. But then there's the cons of it. Like, you've only got so many miles that you're allowed to put on the vehicles, and blah, blah, blah. This is and that's and other things. It really comes down to what you're comfortable with and what you can afford, right? I never advocate anybody getting more than they can afford, because, it seems, and that's how we ended up in the housing crisis back in 2008. People started buying houses that they legitimately should not have been in because they could not afford it. And then when the crap hit the fan, they had to lose their house, right? Because if you have to create a financing to afford something, you shouldn't be in it. You should just be straightforward, right? That said, it takes money to make money. So, I know Dave Ramsey said, buy everything outright, but sometimes you have to buy it on credit, when you're running a business, right?
Yeah, because capital sometimes it's limited. So you're like, okay, your best option is probably you don't have cash, but you have credit. So,
Hey, movers and shakers, how you guys doing? I don't know if you know this or not, but did you know that you could actually join my Seven Figure Moving YouTube group or membership? Yes, if you go to my YouTube page, right here is a join button. By clicking that, you could actually sign up for the membership on YouTube. And there's various perks at various different levels. There's 3 different levels. The first level is just a few bucks. The second level, a little bit more. And the third, well, that's when you really get the membership bonuses and perks that we have available to you. But if you didn't know that, you can actually do that. And there's a lot of people that says, Jay, how can I support you? How can I help you? I get a lot of these comments. Well, if you guys go to the join button and click it, you can actually join my membership and you could be helping me and contributing to the Seven Figure Moving Academy YouTube. So all you have to do, go to Seven Figure Hustler, look for Seven Figure Hustler on YouTube, go down to that page, click the join button, click one of the membership levels, and I'll be seeing you in the group.
The best advice I could tell you on that is start building up your personal credit and your business credit, right? The better your personal credit and the more that you build up your business credit, the better. And take a year, while you're learning the business to build up your credit rating, for your business and for your personally. And
so in terms of building your business credit, right? What's your best advice on like building that business credit?
What's that? Ask it again.
No, I said in terms of building your business credit, how do you go about building your business credit?
The same way basically the same methods you would for your personal credit. I would go and get like a gas card, credit card under your business name, use that, pay it off every month. You know what I mean? Maybe some other kind of small credit, get a small secured credit card under your business name, right? Use that for 3 to 6 months, use that for small bills, pay it off every month, right? And build up your credit that way under your business credit. Obviously when you're building your business credit, they're going to concentrate on your personal credit. So your personal credit has to be fairly good too, right?
Yes,
so if you got bad personal credit, then fix your personal credit and start building that up. And
because my personal credits, it's it's in the 700, so it's
okay.
it's okay. Yeah. So I just need, because I didn't get a business credit card as yet. I haven't get one as yet. So I'm in the process of really looking for one, where the rate is not too high or something like that.
Right. Exactly. So make sure you do what you need to do to be legal business, right? And then get an EIN number, which is basically a social security number for your business.
Yes, because I do. I have all of that. Okay. Yeah, I do have. Yeah, I have everything.
And then go and get a secured credit card. Go and get like a $500 to $1,000 secured credit card for your business, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then, after 3 to 6 months, you can turn that into an unsecured credit card, right? And just, go get a gas card. That's if you got a decent personal credit, you should be able to get a gas card from, one of the gas companies in your area, and get that under your business name and build up your credit that way. And then after a year, and you build up you build up a good reputation, you put in some money in the bank. I would go and get like an unsecured line of credit for your business, like $10,000 line of credit, and then never use it unless you really have to. Like you're in never use it unless you're like in a really bad spot and you have to make payroll or something, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't use it at all, except for maybe some very small minor things that you could pay off very quickly. But having that line of credit, then when you need it, you got it.
Okay. Well, you don't get a line of credit because you want to have it to really pump into the business. You don't do that, right?
You can't. Some people do, and some people do that, and they do that effectively. But again, you don't want to get something that's going to overwhelm you and that you can't afford, right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
If you want to use the line of credit to build up your business, let's say that you come across a good deal. Someone's going to you can find somebody that could build a really nice website for you for a couple $1,000s, and you don't have a couple thousand, use the line of credit. Totally okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. You come across a really good deal for a truck. Hey, you got that line of credit. Use the line of credit for a truck, because that truck is going to be, even though it's a depreciating asset, that asset is going to make you money.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So in terms of for a truck, right? New versus used. Which, because I'm like, we're thinking about, after a while getting a truck, and I'm like, should I get a used truck? Should I get a new truck? Like, where?
Well, a new truck, a moving truck. New one.
Yeah.
You're talking to $100,000 to $150,000. So that might answer your question right there.
I know. That's a lot of money.
I would recommend I used to recommend, and I made a video about it, that, if you got a moving truck for about $20,000, $20,000 to $50,000, you're getting a really good used moving vehicle. However, since COVID, the prices have gone up. So you're probably looking at $30,000 to $40,000 for a good used truck now.
For a good used truck. Okay.
Yeah. And that's what you want. You want a good truck that should last you like 5 years.
Okay.
Right. If you feel, and you buy a truck and you feel that the truck can last you like 5 years, a good solid, then that's what I would use before the truck breaks down. Obviously there's going to be maintenance costs. You're going to have flat tires. You're going to have engine troubles. You're going to have this and that's another. You're going to probably have some moron that puts gas into a diesel engine and have to fix it. That's happened to me.
So do you have recommended places where I could, seek out like a used truck? Or
I used to recommend go and get an old used U-Haul trucks, but they don't sell used. U-Haul doesn't sell their trucks anymore, and they're actually they're phasing out selling any trucks because they don't want the competition. They don't want a moving company buying an old used U-Haul truck and turning it into a moving truck, and now they're competition, which I think is silly. Spread the love a little bit, but
I know, right?
That's their business model, and I'm not going to knock them. But old Penske trucks, Penske usually recycles their trucks after three years, and they sell them after 3 years. And so you can get a good used Penske truck for $20,000 to $30,000. Obviously it's going to have its issues, but you can get a good used Penske truck. You can go online and just do it. There's lots of places where you can buy good used vehicles at affordable prices.
Okay. So in terms of size, what size do you recommend for a
size?
Yeah.
Go to usedmovingvans.com.
Okay. And you're looking so in terms of size, what do you recommend for like the
bigger the better.
The bigger the better?
The biggest truck that you can afford. I personally recommend a 26-foot truck. If you're going to buy a truck, buy a 26-foot truck, right? Okay. If you buy an old used moving truck, you might be able to get them at 28 and 30 feet, 28 feet and 30 feet. And if you can't afford them and they're decent buys, get them. But you're not really going to find, most of the trucks you're going to find out there are going to be 26 footers.
Okay.
So definitely get a thing and try to do your best to find one that's automatic, because most people can't drive stick shifts these days.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can drive a stick shift. Most people my age can drive a stick shift, but the kids these days, they can't drive sticks. They cannot drive manual transmissions.
Mhm.
So stick to like an automatic, get a good used vehicle. Like I said, a good rule of thumb, and you don't have to follow, but a good rule of thumb is if you believe it can last 5 to 10 years, then that's a truck you should. And if you can afford it, that's the truck you should get.
Okay, thanks for that.
But get what you can afford at the best price that you can afford. Even if the truck's not, that the truck is going to only last you a couple of years, get the truck, because it's going to make you a lot of money in 2 years.
Yeah,
right?
so you could use to buy a better truck.
Right.
Pretty much.
But I prefer going used, and I try to get the best truck at a thing. And if you got good credit, a truck at 20 to 30, 30 to 50,000, that's fairly, if you're bringing in the money, you should be able to, you could legitimately, if you work hard, pay a truck off in like a month or two, right? There's no reason why a good licensed and insured moving company, we can't be making $30,000 to $40,000 a month if they're out hustling and doing a good job. So you literally could take all the money that you make in a month, pay that truck off. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Obviously, you wouldn't do that, but you could, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to. Okay.
So you want to make sure that you can afford the truck, and that truck is going to bring you the return on investment that you need it to do.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But if you're going to buy a truck just because it's cheap, then the return on investment might be there, because you might be spending literally thousands of dollars to fix the truck, and then that's not worth it.
Well, and that makes sense too. It really does make sense. Like spend the money if you want to make the money.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much how it goes. Yeah.
If you're going to buy a truck for, let's say, $5,000, but you end up having to put $20,000, it's not a good investment.
Yeah.
You might as well have bought a $20,000 truck that you only have to put $5,000.
True. Okay. Yeah. Well,
but again, it comes down to what you can afford, right? And if you've got good credit and you've got good business credit, then that's why you have the credit. You build the credit up for things like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I basically ask you the questions that I really wanted to ask you, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. Oh, can you re-say about the gas card? Where do I get the gas card?
Yeah, just go get a credit card, gas credit card. You can get that like Shell or Speedway or whatever. You can get one of those credit cards, and just go get a credit card under your business name.
All right. Okay. I'll do that. All right. So pretty much you pretty much answered most of the questions that I really wanted to know, and I'll invest in those books, and then I'll go from there. And if I have to need be, I'll make another consultation with you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
You too. Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.